Hey, you guys. I hope everyone's been well. It's just me, it's Sam G here, and I'm back with another video. I know it's been a while. The last video I put up was Who's Your Favorite Captain America? And it got some views, but it didn't really, go past 102. I think the most popular video I have is the Apocalypse one, which I'm glad that, there was some interaction with people and all that stuff. But let's just dive into my new video today. I'm doing a different style. I'm just recording my voice and putting, footage on the YouTube video because for one, my camera's broken, so I don't have that. But it's not going to stop me from making a video.
Shut up.
Again, I'm sidetracking myself here with an intro. Let's dive in to X-Men 97 and why it is such an amazing show that everyone needs to watch. Now, what could I say about X-Men 97? It's just an amazing show. This show is amazing. I remember when the trailer first came out and, they showed the new visuals. They showed, just as trailers do, a teaser. And I was like, man, okay, I'm hooked. I'm hooked with X-Men 97. I hope it's not like and me and everybody else were just going, we hope it's not like that nostalgia, we're going to do the same story or pick up on the same direction of stories and make something like that. No. It wasn't that at all. X-Men 97 was incredible. The visuals were amazing. The story that it told was amazing as well. Like, what a story. I was hooked from day one. From the first two episodes that they showed, I was already hooked. I was just baffled. And I would go to work early just to watch the show. That's how hooked it had me. And I hadn't been hooked with a show in a very, very long time. I think the last time I was hooked to watch a show was either The Mandalorian or, Marvel's What If. But I will put it up there as one of my top shows for Marvel right now. Because there isn't many. There aren't many Marvel shows that I like. I think, as I said, What If was my favorite show. And I think that's it. What If was one of my favorite shows. Everything else was just kind of garbage. I'm not going to lie to you. I did not like WandaVision. I did not like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was just, I don't know. There were certain things I didn't like. But X-Men 97 really brought that fire back as a Marvel fan for me. I was happy watching a show every single week. And you know what? High Top Films puts it perfectly. So I'm going to show you the clip that he has.
That soul to it, and you can feel it. We are getting 20 to 30 minutes of character moment after character moment. It's kind of insane how slick and perfectly paced the scripts are. Giving just enough action, just enough cameos. Holy shit, he found her. So that our ADHD brains are stimulated, but never overdoing it to the point where it feels like soulless style. You get speech after speech about how Scott can't see color, but can see the color of his son's eyes. Rogue and Magneto's love storms godlike elegance with words.
You meant to make me a goddess. Instead, you have fashioned a fool.
The writing is so full of poetic lines that it gives them out for free. Mixed in with the comic book camp, it's a soap opera, it's a statement, and it's all so sublime.
This show wasn't your typical nostalgia bait show. Like, we've had some nostalgia things lately. Let's not lie to ourselves. For example, Spider-Man Far From Home. Was it Far From Home or No Way Home? It was No Way Home, I think. Yeah, No Way Home. That was nostalgia. And you could argue with me in the comments if you want, but if we really look at it, it was pretty much a nostalgic movie. Like, we brought in Doc Ock, we brought in Green Goblin, we brought in all the villains of old, and then we brought in the Spider-Mans from old that we knew and love. And it was fun. Yeah, it was fun, but you can't really tell me anything about the movie unless it's those parts. Let's be fair to ourselves. Whenever I talk to somebody about Spider-Man No Way Home, the only things they tell me about the old villains coming back, the two Spider-Men coming back, and then the final fight with all of them working together. It's that kind of thing. It's just like with Avengers Endgame, where everybody really just talks about the portal scene, and they don't really talk about anything else. But I feel like X-Men 97 has changed the game with that. X-Men 97 was beautiful, and honestly, there was just a lot of good to it. There was the story. The story from beginning to end was just, it had you hooked. Like, first 2 episodes, it was like, where are we going from here? Then you had the episode where Mr. Sinister is revealed. And we were like, okay, I'm a Mr. Sinister fan. I don't care what anybody says. I am a Mr. Sinister guy. Like, he's awesome. I always love Mr. Sinister. He's one of my favorite villains, and he's always been ranked up there because he's that type of villain that you don't know what he's going to do next, and he always has his own plan. And he always has his own thing. Like, even if he's working with somebody, he still has his own plan, which is just amazing. But going back to the pros, like the whole story with Bastion, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was kind of I was like, Bastion kind of has a point. I know people are gonna go in the comics be like, what are you talking about? But I'm the same person that said, you know what, Thanos has a point. But Bastion was that you kind of felt bad for Bastion. I felt bad for him because had his parents just let him talk to Professor X, I think he wouldn't have turned out the way he did. That's my view on it, you know? And then the whole episode with Genosha getting obliterated, that was something. My joy still dropped after that episode because we had the episode beforehand with Jubilee and just, that whole episode. I was like, okay, cool. But when they dropped episode 5, I was left in shock. I didn't, like, me at work, I was just standing there baffled at what I saw. But yeah, this show just hooked you from beginning to end. The stuff with Jean, the stuff with Magneto, and everybody wants to sit here going, Magneto was right. I don't know. I don't know if he was. I'll be one of those people to go, I don't know if Magneto was right. But again, from beginning to end, this show hooked you. And then the ending, like where they all got separated. I'm sitting here going, what is happening? Like, what is going on? The cameos were perfect. Everything, there were a lot of pros about this show. I will say that there were so many pros. And I just I enjoyed this show from beginning to end. But, there were actually some cons in the show. Like, every show has its cons, and honestly, these were the ones for me. Alright, if we're talking about cons, I'm sorry. It may be because, like, I don't understand emotions that much, or I don't understand how emotions work, but the whole story with Rogue and Gambit and Magneto, that whole triangle, Rogue was annoying me. I'm not gonna lie to you, because at first, she's like flip-flopping, like, I don't know. Rogue was irritating me in this show, because, when she rejects Gambit, essentially, how did she think Gambit was going to feel when she saw her dancing with Magneto? How did you think he was going to feel? He was just going to sit there and be like, oh, yeah, this, I like it. No, he was upset. Like, he was an upset guy. What could I say? Of course he's going to be upset when that happens. Because, let's be real, Rogue was kind of playing with his emotions. It's like a lot of these, the New Yorker almost came out. It's like a lot of people nowadays that they play with people's emotions. And, like, Rogue was kind of a gaslighter for me, I'm always unfiltered with certain things, so I don't need to hide what I have to say. Like, the Rogue was a lot of these broads out there that do the same thing nowadays, but then she wants to flip flop and be upset when Gambit dies. I didn't get it. I was just like, what? Pick a man. Are you gonna stay with Magneto or are you gonna go with Gambit? Like, pick a man. And then here's what got me: when she kills Trask, essentially. everyone on social media was clamoring, oh, I'm with Rogue, she's grieving, she's this and that. Okay, so then John Walker in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, when he killed that terrorist, did nothing wrong. And people be like, oh, that's different because he was up. No, it's not different. 2 people killed somebody. She killed Trask, essentially. Like, she let him go. She let him die. And everybody's going to sit there and defend her? No, that's not how this works. Come on, guys. You know better. Like, when John Walker did it, everybody's like, oh, I'm Team Rogue for doing that. Well, yeah, I'm Team Walker for killing the terrorist. Because, yeah, he saw his friend die, just like she saw her quote-unquote lover die. Come on. Like, her side piece at this point, Gambit, died. So all of a sudden, she, is now sad. Oh, boo-hoo. Another con for me was the whole Morph situation with Logan. Like, apparently Beau DeMayo has confirmed that Morph has feelings for Logan, and that's why he turned into Jean Grey in the end and said what he said. I don't like that. Honestly, like, the whole thing with Morph being non-binary, all that stuff, it didn't need to be a thing, honestly. No disrespect to that community or whatnot. I just don't believe in that stuff. I'm just not with it. Like, Logan doesn't swing that way. You know what I mean? Logan still has feelings for Jean Grey in the back of his head. I don't see anything, building with Morph. If anything, I'll see season 2. He lets him down easy. I just didn't like that whole thing with Morph. The weird, infliction of trying to scratch Wolverine's back in the shower. Like, that was kind of weird for me too. I was like, Logan, don't swing that way, pal. Like, I don't know. Morph, I feel like he just needed a bit more. Like, when the whole thing with Sinister, like, in the end, when he makes fun of Sinister, I wanted to see, like, a one-on-one with Sinister. Don't get me wrong, I like Morph, the character, because he gave us a lot of... Morph was our cameo machine, man. Like, he gave us some good cameos. But I just didn't like the whole thing where, he has these feelings for Wolverine. Again, no disrespect to anybody in that community. I have friends in that community. I just don't support it. So that was another negative for me. And a third negative. I don't know why, but everybody's like dragging Professor X, just trying to solve this thing reasonably. Like, every single person is dragging him. I'm like, well, I would try to solve things reasonably too. Like, with the whole things with the humans, like, things could be avoided with reason. Because everybody, even in the times we live now, are quick to go up in arms and try to riot and stuff. But, like, just talk. Things can be solved with reason. And I know Eric had been finally snapping, like, you can't solve a reason. No, things can be solved with reason. I feel like if Professor X were around with the whole Bastion situation, he could have calmed it with Bastion. Because it revealed that, your parents didn't let me talk to you, but I did want to, bring you in and all that stuff. But that's a little nitpick for me when it comes to the negatives of this show. But all in all, this show was just incredible. But as I said, yeah, the show is incredible. It was a great show, and it proved something that I have been saying for a long time, and now it's just come to light. Not everything needs to be live action. Not everything needs to be live action. Not everything needs to be, with actors and stuff. This was perfect. This, to me, right here, was the perfect show. I honestly believe that it was the perfect show, and it proved, hey, not everything needs to be a live action piece. But I saw this TikTok the other day, and it had some cool stuff. Like, if there were to be a live action, show, like a live action movie for the X-Men, and I'll show it. Again, shout out to the TikToker Almighty Pool, because this was the casting that they had. I'm gonna put the pictures up, and we'll go one by one. So we have Mark Strong as Charles Xavier. Pretty cool choice. Viggo Mortensen as, Magnus and Magneto. Evan Rachel Wood as Jean Grey. She looks like she fits the character. I would do it. Jacob E. as Scott Summers. Again, there's some, last names that I'm not going to be able to pronounce, so I'll just abbreviate. Margot Robbie as Emma Frost. I could see that one. That would be cool. Keke Palmer as Aurora Monroe. Storm. Again, everybody's like, oh, Keke Palmer should be Rogue. No, this would be the perfect choice, honestly. I'm the type of person that I would rather characters that are of color or of a diversity be casted with people of color or diversity instead of changing other characters to be that way. It was like the short that I put. Let's make Ryan Gosling Black Panther. There's a way to diversify people, and then there's a way to be annoying about it. Alexandra Daddario as Rogue. That's another one that would be cool. I could take that one, honestly. Austin Butler as Gambit. That would be... He fits. Honestly, he fits. He fits that role. Momona T as Jubilee. She looks like she fits the role. Again, there's some actors and actresses that I don't really know on here, but they do... I gotta look into it. Okay, this one would work. Joel Edgerton as Hank McCoy as Beast. That would be fun. I've always liked his work, and I think seeing him as Beast would be pretty cool. Timothée Chalamet as Nightcrawler. We've seen him in Dune, I believe. That's who that is, but you could correct me if I'm wrong. But him as Nightcrawler would be pretty fun. Ana de Armas as Mystique. That would be cool. To have Mystique in the movies. I was actually wondering where Mystique was this entire show. A lot of people saying it was the blonde woman, and I was like, no. I don't think that's the Mystique. And if it is, she put on a really good job of not, breaking that character. We got Enzo V as Morph, and again, I would just keep Morph to who he was, not trying to change it or make him non-binary. Oh, Taron Egerton as Logan, as Wolverine. That's a cool one. As much as I love Hugh Jackman, by the way, I'm seeing Deadpool 2 coming out soon. We don't need to see Hugh Jackman all the time as Wolverine. Let him rest. After this, I think he should take a nice rest. We have Jason Momoa as Victor Creed, as Sabretooth. I could see that happening. He has the build for it. He has the build. I fuck with it. Daphne Keane coming back as X-23. I could see it happening too. That would be fun to see her come back. Apparently, she's not in Deadpool 3. I'm a little disappointed in that. But again, to see her come back for an X-Men film, I would definitely be a part of it. Of course, Ryan Reynolds as Wade Wilson as Deadpool. Nice to see him as a cameo. And I was saying this to other people. Deadpool should be the new Stan Lee in cameos. How awesome would it be to see Deadpool in every movie just make a comment or something? Just like he's in Lego games where you see him in the background or he's doing something. He should be the new Stan Lee cameos. But we have Stephen K. as Colossus. That would be fun to see. Josh Brolin, bring him back as Cable. That would be the perfect one. Bring him back as Cable. That would be fun. This one is a new one, but I could see it happening. Millie Bobby Brown as Kitty Pryde. I would definitely, be on board with that. John David Washington as Bishop, again, would be a cool pick. For that sake, Zac Efron as Angel would be nice because I just recently saw Zac Efron on Iron Claw. Great movie, great film. And Asher Angel as Iceman. I think all these would be good picks, and you have your balance of diversity and all that stuff just to, fill that, because apparently that's a big thing nowadays. But yeah, all in all, X-Men is making a comeback between the comics, between the show, and then the hints of a movie trying to be produced. And I feel like X-Men 97 just showed you it could be done, but I never trust the people that do live action. So let's hope that it comes out good. If not, then we just have, X-Men 97 to back onto. But with that being said, thank you for joining me on this journey, on this video today. I think I'm going to be keeping the style of just recording from now on, just to have fun with that. Also, be on the lookout. I'm going to start maybe, doing some video games on here, same way with recording with my microphone. And yeah, thanks again for being a subscriber. Thanks again for watching this video. Tell me what you think below. If you like it, leave a like, comment below. We could have a talk, we could have a discussion. And if you're not going to be an adult about your discussions, you're just going to get blocked. That's how easy it is nowadays. Again, with that being said, I'm just Sam G, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now, and God bless.